what about fuck you? I want to equally be able to say fuck you if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're trans.
And welcome to the bonus content. He have 20 minutes, so we're gonna get to the point. And the point is, I have one example. I believe there's a lot of victimizing in comedy, in a lot of places, but I'm gonna talk about comedy. There's like these posts that happen that, oh yeah, if you know a woman that is funny, why don't you go for them and put it on the show? I have one, like, my example is there's a show called Show Open Mic. It's run by Shelby Wright. Shout out to Shelby Wright. She's amazing. And there was one lineup that it was like she was hosting with Kelly, and it was just 10 guys. And apparently she posted that, and someone, I don't know who, but a woman was like, "Oh, a sausage party. Why don't you book a woman? Like, this seems like really bigger on your part. Like, we're supposed to be encouraging each other. Like all this, all this speech." And she was like, "I would have put any woman on the show, but not even one reach out. If you don't reach out, how do I put you on the show?" And recently we talked about the same topic, and she was like, "Yeah, like women don't go because it's Berwyn, Illinois, so it's really difficult to get there if you don't have a car." I was like, "I don't have a car."
There's the same problem for everybody.
But every time you book me, I find a way to go there.
Yes.
And she's like, "You know what? Yeah, that's right." It's like, so don't victimize yourself.
No, man, and it's very selective. I hate how much things are involved. How long have you been doing comedy here?
2 years now. Yeah.
2 years. So I've been doing it 7 years this month, actually. My 7th year.
Congratulations.
It don't feel like congratulations, motherfucker. But there was a huge, the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
And when that was happening, it was like, you have to book a black person. You have to, there should be a black, you never even hear about that anymore. Because nobody gives a fuck. Because it's out of fucking popularity. It's not the popular thing to fucking go for anymore. If we think about it, and I'm not just saying this because I'm black or any minority, there's going to be more women in the room than there is black guys in the room, that there is Hispanic guys in the room, there is Asian. Why do we have this? You shouldn't do this for this group of people. Next, it's going to be like, hey, all left-handed Filipinos should have a spot on a show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because something happened.
Something happened. Like, I think it's just it's a little bit of bullshit. And
but you should earn the spots.
You should earn the spots. And two things can be true. Like, are there a lot of women who quit comedy because of gross shit? Yes. Are there a lot of women who don't even get into it because it's so male-dominated and stuff? Yes.
Yeah.
But I think where I can call out is because it's largely white women that do this. Well, the good thing about being between white women and black men, I always say that, is we're both half oppressor, half oppressed. Like, yeah, I'm a man, but I'm black. And yeah, you're a woman, but you're a white bitch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I feel like I can call you on your bullshit a little bit. Like, we both have power over each other in different ways. You can't just be like the patriarchy. I can be like racism. And honestly, if the cops come here, they're not going to be thinking about the patriarchy. They're going to be thinking about my black ass. You know what I mean? If a white woman comedian says something about you as a black guy, I've had this happen. Like, oh, I find him scary, or and not really even saying anything specific, just putting that general vibe like, oh, that means something. That goes a long way. But if you say that about that same white woman, nothing happens. So I just wish, that's the kind of shit that just makes comedy not fun. Like, this should even be part of the game. What are we fucking talking about here? We should just be talking about who's funny and who's not fucking funny. Yeah. That's it.
I produce a show now called Punchline This. I always try to book a woman, but because I like the diversity on my show. But I have never felt I need to have one. I cannot have a show without one. It's like more like I want it for my show because it's a different type.
What if
my
I
show
don't
is different.
fuck with you? That's a huge shit too. People give jobs to people they fucking like. What if I don't fuck with you? Now I gotta give you this shit, an opportunity, because that's what we're all fighting for: opportunity, attention, a chance to get better. I gotta give you that just because you're a woman. What about fuck you? I want to equally be able to say fuck you if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're trans. I don't like this shield around certain people.
Yeah.
And it happens a little bit with trans people too. Like, I want to be able to be like, I don't like you. Not because you're trans, but because I don't fucking
don't
like
like you.
you.
Yeah, I believe even it hurts long term their comedy career, because maybe for being a woman, I'm not saying this is all the cases, but maybe from being a woman you got an opportunity that you were not ready for, and you bomb or you do bad. The audience, the common like knowledge of the audience is first, this is why audience think like, oh, women are not funny. Women are really funny, but you have some in spots that not are not deserved. So people are seeing like this, whoever like bomb was the woman because she was not ready for that spot. It's not because women are not funny.
I feel like they get that a little bit unfairly though.
Yeah,
Because I think men do. That's the same thing happens with men. That like they shouldn't be doing that spot, but they know the booker, or they know a homeboy, or
Yeah.
they're a good hang, or they have cocaine on them all the time. So you give them a spot, but nobody.
that's a way to get
That's
into
hey, come on, man. You're from Central America. Hook it up, brother. Hook it up.
From the day this is released on, I'm on so many.
Yeah. He's fucking headlining.
Like, yeah, no, it doesn't have anything
That's
to
the
do
key
with it.
to everything, man. That's the key to everything. So I just feel like, yeah, man. I wish that shit would stop. I wish they would take it out.
On merits, it should be.
It should be
Who's
on
funny?
merits, but I don't know. It's also hard because I think within this shit, NBA guys don't have to play in the. Imagine if like NFL guys had to play with like fucking rec league guys. Like that's what happens in comedy. Real professionals are on the same stage with people who are just hobbyists, with people who don't give a fuck and don't have any. Not even don't give a fuck, but they're like, oh, I'm just doing this for fun, or I'm doing it because of community.
But that hurts the scene.
Yes and no. I don't think it hurts the scene. It just makes it hard to cut through the noise. It makes it cluttered. It doesn't hurt the scene because it's all for funsies.
I believe a little bit it does, because I have a couple of friends that they don't want to go to, I'm not going to name, but one of the big venues, because they're like, I've been there like 2-3 times. Every time the show was like bad.
Yeah.
These people, it looks like they didn't know what they were doing. The jokes were no good. It's like probably you saw a show with people that were not ready for those spots.
Or, I mean, I think we know a lot of people that are ready for those spots, that do those spots all the time. They've been doing comedy for 10 years and they still suck. The reasons people suck is vast and wide. And I think sometimes, especially like, I remember like feeling the same frustration. Like, like there's a frustration that it's like sports. Like, like, nigga, I'm killing these motherfuckers in practice. I can do this.
Okay,
all right,
yeah,
maybe I shouldn't be fucking starting, but I can get some playing time. I can get this guy out of here. There's some frustration with that. And when I first started comedy, I realized like you can do one of two things. You can kind of, there's like this line, and you can kind of wait in the line like you were doing in Venice and hope somebody picks you at the line, says, hey, you Christian, you're good enough. Come in here. Come in this big club. Come do some Friday night spots. You're like, yeah, that feels good. But that takes forever, and it's so subjective. Or you can say, fuck this line, and it's going to take longer, and it's going to suck. You can build a fucking tunnel right through that motherfucker. And that shit sucks, and it takes longer, and it's hard, but you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it right now with this podcast, and you're doing it with your punchline this. You're doing it, and that's the fucking key. And you can't, and I'm just telling you from experience, because I've done this. Like, I'm telling you, I've literally been in this spot. And I was in this spot last year again, and I had to take a break. But you don't want to, like, hate on those people who are standing in line, because it's like that is a way, and they're okay with it. You kind of just got to keep your head down and dig your fucking tunnel. That's at least the way I
don't
see
hate
it.
them, but I got to the point that I was like, I got to the point that I was like, okay, I'll buy the shovel, I'll start digging, and the first like couple of diggings are like, why have to be like this? I believe
yeah.
I'm getting to the point that it's like, yeah, this is the way I did it. But yeah,
No, for real. Yeah,
but I went to that
fully,
place like, why?
Yes. Why am I hitting the dirt? Is because this is what we think about Hollywood. This is what we think. I think this is what we think about all things.
We're gonna end up with this, so you have time to.
Yeah. Is that people? The best people rise to the top, and the best. If you're good, they'll find you. There is no they. The best people don't rise to the top, and bad people get good shit all the fucking time. That's life. And I think we think with Hollywood is like when you see a movie or an actor, you're like, this gotta be the best person. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do. That's not what they do. We see it firsthand. It's who you know. It's right place, right time. It's talent sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's not solely based on that. Because we all know comedians within the city that aren't big and famous that are fucking killers and hilarious. And honestly, the world will probably never know these motherfuckers' names. It's not about
which is
fucking
super
talent.
sad.
Which is super sad, but it's also like, to me, I would feel better if I didn't make it with trying to dig my tunnel than not make it when I'm standing in the fucking line.
With that fucking phrase, because I agree with that phrase. We're
Go and fucking get it, nigga. Buy some nukes, nigga.
And get some pussy.
Get some pussy and buy some nukes.
That's it, final. Bye.